Thank you. Good evening and welcome to this meeting of the Council. I'm Councillor Elizabeth Malvisi, Chair of Babergh District Council, and I'll be chairing the meeting tonight. This meeting will be broadcast live to the internet and will be capable of repeated viewing. The whole of the meeting will be recorded, except where there are confidential or exempt items. If any member of the public attending the meeting objects to being filmed, please advise us immediately and we will ensure that they are not included in the filming. Members of the public and the press may record, film, photograph or broadcast this meeting when the public and the press are not lawfully excluded. If you are intending to so do, please could you inform the committee clerk. May I please request that mobile phones are on silent or switched off and that your laptops are switched to silent. If you hear the fire alarm, please leave the building immediately via a fire exit and make your way to the assembly point at Ipswich Town Football Ground. Now, apologies for absence.
Many thanks, Chair. Good afternoon, members. We've had apologies from Councillors Peter Beer, Michael Holt, Lee Jameson, John Nunn, Stephen Plum, Mark Newman, Alistair McCraw, Alison Owen, Adrian Osborne and Margaret Maybury.
Thank you, Peter. Have we any declaration of interests by councillors? No declarations? Right. Can I have a proposer, please, to confirm the minutes? What? What? Yeah. Does anybody have any issues with the minutes? Are there any inaccuracies? Otherwise, can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Hurren and Councillor Saw seconding. Thank you very much. We'll call for a vote by a show of hands. Yeah, okay. That is carried. I also refer you to paper BC 2528, and this is for noting. Now, Councillor Ward, as leader, do you wish to present an update?
Thank you, Chair. Sorry about that delay. As councillors know, the government has now launched its consultation into the proposals for new unitary councils in Suffolk and Norfolk. The MHCLG is seeking feedback on the two proposals submitted in September for Suffolk, the case for 3 unitaries submitted by all Suffolk's district and borough councils, and the case for 1 unitary council submitted by Suffolk County Council. Our case is that by moving to 3 strong, locally focused councils, we can deliver better services, make decisions closer to the communities they affect, ensure effective local representation, and ensure every pound is spent wisely. The 3 councils' proposal delivers significant savings without compromising service quality. It would deliver gross savings of £106 million over the first 5 years, achieved through efficiencies and integrated services. From year 6, there is an annual saving of £34 million, from which £20 million a year would be reinvested in services. In addition, an independent review by the Social Care Institute of Excellence has identified a range of adult social care and children's services that are costing more or performing worse in Suffolk than the average for councils in the region. It has calculated that our more localised delivery model could save up to a further £67.5 million a year for investing in service improvement. We are also proposing a council tax harmonisation model that will ensure no one would pay more than they would have done had the current councils continued. 3 councils for Suffolk isn't just a structure, it's a commitment to local accountability, faster decisions, and stronger communities rooted in the individual identities of the different parts of Suffolk. It is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform how local services are delivered in our communities, to do things differently and do them better. It is a pivotal moment for Suffolk. We will continue to defend our proposal against the strident attacks and misinformation from the County Council, clearly designed to scare the public when the evidence is clear that there is overwhelming support for 3 councils. We will also be even-handed and will continue to be careful not to breach the Code of Recommended Practice on Local Authority Publicity. The government's consultation will last until 11th of January, and we are using a range of communication channels to publicise this. It is vitally important residents and stakeholders clearly understand our case, and of course that of One Suffolk, as they can make an informed response to the questions being asked by the government. We are, of course, encouraging as many people as possible to engage with the consultation, and we are raising awareness among the public, as well as our communities, stakeholders, towns and parishes. I would also encourage councillors to share details in their own networks. Leaflets explaining the case and encouraging responses are available for all councillors to distribute as you wish in your communities. These are in your pigeonholes, and if you need more copies, they are available from a box by the in the pigeonhole area or from the communications team. Collectively, let's do all we can to promote this consultation so people can have their say, informed fully about both proposals. We know residents support us, and we need to ensure that they are able to let the government know this as well. Last week, our communities team hosted a summit in Bilderson, helping local organisations gain a better understanding of how to access funding opportunities. Dozens of attendees took part in a series of workshops designed to help them learn about writing successful applications and find out more about trustee and volunteer support and safeguarding essentials. They also heard from our experts who shared insights about the funding process and the organisations involved. I'm delighted that these workshops happened. Our grant funding is so important to many organisations and communities, and we will continue to work hard to raise awareness of the opportunities we offer. And finally, an update on the Norwich to Tilbury grid project. National Grid's application for a development consent order for Norwich to Tilbury was accepted for examination by the Planning Inspectorate in September, and the examination is expected to begin in the coming months. Babergh and Mid Suffolk are preparing our submission and will attend the hearings. We are also, along with Suffolk, helping parishes to make their representations too. I was delighted to attend and be invited to speak at a meeting in the Sproughton Tithe Barn last Friday evening. This was organised by James Cartledge, along with Suffolk County Council leader Matthew Hicks. We may have our differences on local government reorganisation, but the inadequacy of the current grid proposal and its impact on our communities unites us. Thank you, Chair.
Are there any points of clarification? Councillors, Councillor Ward's update will be circulated after the meeting and also attached to the minutes. Okay? Moving on. Petitions.
None received, Chair.
Thank you. Questions by the public?
Also none received.
Questions by councillors?
None received.
I now move to paper BC 2529, which is the half-year report on Treasury Management 2025-2026, and I invite Councillor Bryn Hurren to introduce the report and to move the recommendations. Councillor Hurren.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. The purpose of the report is part of the Council's management and governance arrangements for Treasury management activity under the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy, CIPFA for short. Code of Practice on Treasury Management. It provides members with a comprehensive assessment of activities for the first 6 months of the financial year 25-26. Now, key highlights to note. Compliance is the first thing, Chairman. All Treasury management activities were fully compliant with the CIPFA Code and also the Council's approved strategy. All Treasury management indicators were met. The borrowing position, it's reduced from 125.7 million in March 25 to 116.4 in September just gone. mainly through repayment of short-term loans. Average short-term borrowing rate was 4.98%. Investments, total investments decreased slightly to 10.3 million. Pooled funds remain at 9, delivering income returns between 2.3 and 4.84. The overall investment return of 4.48 was with strong liquidity maintained. Capital finance requirement forecast CFR for 31st of March 26, 188.8 million, up from 178 in March 25, reflecting planned capital expenditure in the general fund and also the housing revenue account. Our trading companies, SIFCO loans, total 43.1 million at the moment, generating cumulative interest of 13.5 million. Baby growth lands stands at 12.3 at this moment. The prudential indicators all have been complied with due date. Now I'm happy to propose this for note in Chairman members and look for a seconder. I will try to answer what questions I can, but I also have Melissa Evans and David Fevier Ward to help me with the complicated ones. So thank you very much.
Councillors, any questions? No? Councillor Riley?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. It's only a small item of detail, and I think Ms Evans might be the best place to answer this, but I'll address it to you, Bryn, anyway. Is that if we look at Appendix E, page 37,
Yes, I have that.
okay, you see that first table, external borrowing, quite happily going up from 46 million to 64, and capital financing requirement going up to 91 million. Could you tell us, the main driver here is the capital financing requirement, but there's no contribution from revenue. It all appears to be financed, the increase appears to be financed by borrowing. So what are the, bearing in mind what we're looking forward to in terms of losing our autonomy as a sovereign council, what are the drivers? Why is our council requirement? Why is our capital requirements moving up? Do we recall?
Yes, thank you, Councillor Riley. That was noted in the meeting, but if I can ask for help from Melissa, probably, Section 115 officer. Thank you, Melissa.
That's fine. Thank you for your question. Obviously the capital finance requirement is increasing as the council is spending on its capital programme. So that's both the general fund and the HRA, so repairing our stock, replacing our housing stock, as well as repairs and maintenance on things like our leisure centres as well. So that's what's driving the increase in the capital financing requirement. For the general fund, we don't have any funds to be able to contribute, any revenue contributions to fund that capital programme, but in the HRA we are making revenue contributions to fund that capital programme because there's more money in the HRA than there is in the general fund.
Councillor Ward?
Yeah, actually, so just a quick one on borrowing as well. I note that, and as Councillor Harron has mentioned, that the September 2025 borrowing is less than March. It's reduced by just over 9 million. We were forecasting a March 26 figure of external borrowing of 138 million. Will that number now decrease as a result of the 9 million reduction over the first 6 months? As shown in Table 1 and Table 2. It's on page 26.
Yep, I think that does include the 9 million in there as well, so we have included that in the numbers, so that's...
Thank you.
Can we therefore move to debate? Who wishes to open the debate? Do I take it you want to move straight to the vote? Yes? I'll now ask the Head of Democratic Services to conduct the electronic vote.
Thank you, councillors. That vote is now in progress. Councillor Riley, can I take your vote verbally?
I'm in favour of noting this.
Thank you, councillors. That is 22 votes for. That is carried.
Thank you. We now move to item 9 on the agenda, the Bentley Conservation Area Appraisal and Management Plan, which is paper BC 2530. I now invite Councillor Sally Davis to introduce the report and to move the recommendations. I'll ask for a seconder after you've proposed. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm asking Council to adopt the Bentley Conservation Area Appraisal and Management Plan as set out in paragraph 3.1 of the report before you, and that the Chief Planning Officer be authorised to make any minor consequential amendments necessary to publish and adopt these documents. Council has already designated a conservation area for Bentley. This decision was made in April this year after a period of consultation. The final appraisal and management plan is now ready after officers undertook a detailed review of the documents in light of comments made during the consultation process. I must give credit to Vincent Pearce, who is here in the chamber with us, who has carried out this review and has produced these documents with his trademark enthusiasm, meticulousness and sustained hard work. The Bentley Conservation Area still displays the structure of a rural medieval landscape with little modern interference. There are manor houses, halls, ancient woodland, and a web of lanes and paths which have not changed for 600 years. It is a pre-industrial revolution rural landscape and is worth conserving. This administration's strategic priorities include a revitalised and improved environment that protects and enhances our natural landscape and our wildlife habitats, increasing biodiversity and nature recovery. We're under pressure from this government to build, build, build. While recognising there is a need for some more housing, a lot of clean energy, and some economic activity, we must develop our communities carefully. The Bentley Conservation Area Appraisal and Management Plan will be included in the local plan and will be a material consideration in planning matters. It is a tool to ensure that development does not ruin this special place, and I ask that Council adopts it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Rowland? Thank you. Now invite questions. Councillor Rees, and then Councillor Saw, then Councillor Ward.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Just a small point, really. On page 43, paragraph 9.2, it mentions that officers have throughout this time also worked with the parish council to inform that draft as presented. Appendices usually include the consultations. I'm just wondering why the comments from consultations haven't been included in the appendices this time. It's always very interesting to see what people have to say with consultations. Thank you.
Yes, I don't know why they've not been included. Perhaps we could send them round, or did we send them round before? I can't remember. Yeah.
To clarify, the consultation that we undertook and the results of that are attached in the link to the decision on the designation of the conservation area. And at that time, the document itself, the conservation area and appraisal and management plan, had been produced by a consultant for the parish council. And we returned to the parish council to invite them to make amendments and updating and to take account of the consultation comments that we'd received and the advice we had on the adequacy or need for amendment of this document. They've proved unable to deliver that in the time that this needed to be done, and we have therefore taken the work on ourselves in order to ensure that this is in place in good time to inform decisions in planning terms.
Councillor Ward.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to ask, first of all, I echo what Councillor Davies said. I thought this was an excellent piece of work and a very good read, if I might say so. I am just wondering if this sets a template for other areas which might want to go for conservation status, and are we working with parishes at the moment to do that?
We are working with parishes. There are two in the pipeline, I know, from Sproughton and East Bergholt. This one took a lot of work, and it was because the parish council felt unable to assist with the finishing of the process. Resources mean that that is not something we will be able to do in the future. However, I think that the two that are coming through have already got the benefit of really good consultant support. So, yeah, they are coming through. We can't support as much as we have supported with this one, but that doesn't mean that communities who feel they do need to conserve these special places should not come forward. Anything you want to add to that? No? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, we say that this is going to form part of the evidence base for our joint local plan and will become a material consideration for planning decisions. That's fine as far as the decisions that we make as a planning authority. What about its influence on anything that the planning inspectorate might do with NSIPs? Should we have NSIPs in the neighbouring area or within the conservation area? Would they have to take this into account, or is it something that wouldn't be a consideration for them?
Yeah, I don't know the detail on that. I'll turn to Phil.
The status of this is such that it acquires statutory status as a heritage asset in its own right as part of the conservation area designation, and therefore it's material for all planning decisions, whether they are undertaken by ourselves, on appeal by the inspectorate, or as part of the national process. So it is a material consideration throughout. The weight that ultimately decision makers attach to it, we can't be responsible for.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Further to following up on Councillor Reese's question,
Through you, Chair. Yes, the Parish Council prepared the draft of this Conservation Area Management Plan that you see before you. They were unable to complete the revisions that we believed were appropriate to ensure that it was a fully complete document in the round. So the Parish Council were at the heart of this and drove the preparation of the document in the first instance. We have taken up what they had prepared and produced a document which from our point of view, delivers all the things that an appraisal and management plan should do, which the original draft did not fully do.
Councillor Riley.
Can we therefore conclude that the Parish Council have not endorsed your revisions?
On the contrary, my colleague Mr Pearce has worked very closely with the Parish Council to work through the changes that we have taken for ourselves, because it is our document rather than theirs, and I believe the parish are fully cited on the changes that have been put in to amend the document, and I have no reason to believe they have any disagreement with its adoption in its present form.
Any more questions, or can we move to debate? Who would like to open the debate? Councillor Ward?
Yeah, this is an astonishing document. It really is a very, very interesting read, and I do thank Vincent for all the work he's put into this. I think it's unique. I've never seen anything quite like it. And as somebody who spent my teenage years living within that conservation area, I have learnt a lot more. I knew enough about it already, but I've learnt so much more by reading this, and I'm so pleased to see it. And I've always been aware that Bentley, amongst our communities, has got this specific historical significance which many haven't had or don't have, going right back to as far as the Norman Conquest, and indeed before, because some of the land holdings do predate the Norman Conquest. And also the document does mention in many places the links of the Tomash family to Bentley prior to their moving to Helmingham at the beginning of the 16th century. So I think this is brilliant, and I fully support it and will be voting in favour of it. So thank you for all the work you've put into it.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to debate? Councillor McLaren? And then Councillor Saw.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Well, I must be one of the very few people that have to drive through Bentley most days, so I'm very familiar with Bentley. And I want to say, Vince, what a brilliant piece of work this is. Well done. It was, like Councillor Ward said, it was so interesting to read. I did read one comment that said that Bentley, because of this new change, that they were protected. I'd just like to say that the biggest threat that Bentley has at the moment is the redirection of traffic from the A14 through Bentley. And if any of you know Bentley, that is really scary when you meet a juggernaut coming the other way. So I'm not sure this will impact that, but I would like to say that Bentley do have that hurdle to overcome. The redirection of the traffic is quite dangerous. But thank you very much for the paper.
Thank you. Councillor Saw.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to refer councillors to the comments made in the consultation by the Suffolk Preservation Society, which said that this was a high-quality appraisal and sets a higher threshold for future appraisals. And I take that to mean not just in our district, but Suffolk-wide, which I think is a great testimony to the work of our officers. There are 50 features of architectural and historic interest in Bentley, and I think anybody who writes it, I predict that Bentley will get an absolute spread of visitors coming from all over after Vincent's work, because I think I might be going myself to look at some of these areas. The other thing to remember is that the Bentley Tudor barn is at risk, and is something that Councillor Davies and I have spoken to Historic England about, and anything that can help preserve that barn for future generations should be supported. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to debate? Okay, we'll now move to ask the Head of Democratic Services to conduct the electronic vote.
Thank you, Chair. Councillors, that vote is now in progress. Councillor Riley, can I take a vote verbally? 4. Councillor Davis, Derek Davis, haven't got your vote yet. That is 22 votes for, that is carried.
Very much. We now move to page... Sorry?
Vincent's got his hand up.
Yeah. What? Vincent?
Yeah, Vincent. You could just bring him in. I'm not sure we wanted to raise, but we wanted to raise something.
Do you wish to say something, Vincent?
If I may, through you, Chair, I just wanted to say that the conservation area appraisal was something that was very close to the late Councillor David Busby's heart, and I wouldn't want this opportunity to get passed by without saying that to members, by waiting until you'd voted. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, I've gone goose pimply. Oh. Yeah. Right. Item 10 on the agenda, which is paper BC 2531. And I'll now invite the Head of Democratic Services to introduce the report. And then I'll ask for... Are you proposing?
I can't propose.
You can't propose. So, Councillor Ward, and can I have a seconder in line? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. So you'll see in front of you a report and a couple of appendices. This is to, first of all, ask you to approve the numerical allocation of seats as set out in Appendix A, and then further to approve the context of Appendix B, which is the composition of those committees. You'll notice that we have a vacancy that is going to be discussed over the course of the next few weeks, and we'll be able to fill that vacancy once we've had a discussion about it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Councillor Clover?
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Just a minute, Councillor.
The motion to approve needs to be moved by the proposer.
Okay. Aren't you, Councillor Ward?
Yes, sorry.
So can you move the motion?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I propose the recommendations in section 2 of this report.
Councillor Chloe, you can...
Thank you again. Yeah, just one question on Appendix A. So we know that there's been, obviously, in terms of the local election, the Liberal Democrat seat was lost to Reform. And the seat that's been challenged here is the for the Licensing Regulatory Committee, which is obviously a Labour position there. Should it not be that the Liberal Democrats' seat should be replaced because of the by-election result?
So it already was that a Liberal Democrat seat was being taken by Councillor Alison Owen. So as it stands, what we have is the Liberal Democrat seat being lost and that now being formally placed into either a Labour or Reform seat. So they both councillors have equal access to that seat, so we need to have a conversation about who would like to take it up or what other arrangements can be made.
Any other questions? Councillor Saw.
Thank you, Chair. Given that Councillor Owen is not in the chamber, and I would like to know, has this been discussed with her prior to her departure?
Yes, very happy to confirm. Correspondence has been back and forth, but we haven't reached an agreement yet.
Okay. Any more questions? Councillor Clover.
Thank you. Councillor Saw used the word departure. Is that already? Is it decided now?
A little misunderstanding, methinks.
Temporary departure.
Anyone else? I'll now ask the Head of Democratic Services to conduct the vote, an electronic vote.
Many thanks, Chair. That vote is now in progress. Councillor Riley, can I take your vote verbally? Councillor Horan, would you like me to take your vote verbally? Oh, it's just come through, never mind. That is 22 votes for, that motion is carried.
Thank you. Now, item 11, councillor appointments. Councillor Ward.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I'd like to appoint Councillor, or propose appointing Councillor Dowling to the board of BDC Suffolk Holdings Limited.
Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Saw. I'll now ask the Head of Democratic Services to conclude the electronic vote. Modern technology, super fast. Oh, I've got to vote as well, haven't I?
Many thanks. Members, that vote is now in progress. Councillor Riley, can I take a vote verbally?
Against.
Against.
I'm all confused.
Have you managed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's telling me I've voted. She's working on it, Mandy.
Councillor Horan, we don't seem to have your vote registered. Can I take it verbally? Thank you very kindly. That is 20 votes for, 1 against and 1 abstention. That motion is carried.
Thank you very much. Now, item 12 on the agenda, motions on notice, which is none received. Therefore, at the next meeting is on Tuesday, 20th of January. Please make a note, at 5:30. And now at 18:11, I declare this meeting closed.